नर नारायण देवनी जय, राधा कृष्णनी देवनी जय, नर नारायण देवनी जय। शंकर दादाय नमः, ओम श्री कृष्णाय नमः, ओम श्री रामचंद्र प्रभु नमः, ओम श्री हर हर महादेव हर हर। I bow down to Purna Purushottam Swaminarayan Bhagavan, the Sri Hari Vishnu Bhagavan, Mahavishnu. I bow down to the Ramanujacharya, I bow down to His Holiness Ramanand Swami Acharya and Vallabhacharya, as well as the Vithalnaji and all other Acharyas, Madhvacharyas, Sankaracharya, all the great Acharyas, as well as bow down to on the behalf of all the devotees in temple, to His Purna Purushottam Swaminarayan Bhagavan, Gunatedana Swami, 500 Paramahans, including Gopalan Swami, Muktan Swami, Niskulan Swami, Sukaran Swami, Devanand Swami, 500 Paramahans. Gunatedana Swami, then comes the Bal Mukunda Swami, and Naranda Swami, then comes the Dharam Sarup Das Swami, then comes the Shastriji Maharaj, Gopalani Gopinath Das Ji, Shastriji Maharaj, Dharmajin Das Swami, Purani Swami, Prem Prakash Das, all Santos, Mukund Swami, Sarva Mahan Santo, the Pandari Hari Prasad Swami, Kotari Swami Harijivan Das Swami, and all the great sadhus and devotees, I bow down to their divine lotus feet. Today's satsang is life member sponsor, our family, for memory of our parents, Maniben, Jarambai, Babaria, Talavia, and Jarambai, Karamsibai, Babaria, and our all families, all our brothers, and also in memory of my brother Vijay Kumar, and all sisters and all devotees. And also today's satsang sponsored by the annual sponsor, the Nimaben and Nishad Bhai Patel, Nishad Bhai Ashok Bhai Patel, and their family, including their son and daughter, Veer and Viva, and our family, Dr. Radhika, Dr. Krishna, Dr. Arti, Dr. Sonak, and Hari Krishna, and all family. On the holy name, we bow down, we pray for all this family and every devotees who are interested in this satsang and temple. And may Lord bless to all. Varanive Sharamani Darshanam Mandacharuchiranambujam Pujitam Suranarotame Mudra Dharmadandan Maham Vichinte. Sri Swaminarayan Namo Namaha. Kirtan first, Kirtan, let's say Kirtan, we start with Kirtan, yeah? Or let's finish the Janmogal first, yeah? Sahajananda Swami Maharajani Jai, Hari Krishna Maharajani Jai, Namo Namo Sri Hari, Buddhi Daya Dayavate, Bhakti Dharmatma Jata, Bhakta Kalpa Drumaya Cha, Sugandha Pushpa Harade, Vaidrupa Harake, Sampujidaya Bhakto De, Sitambar Dharaya Cha, Namanastor Satam Chaturvarga Vipsanam, Sangha Pala Pradam Nunam Vakshami Satpate, Asya Janmanglakhasya Seriyasto Satram, Stotrasya Mantrasya Santanam Munishi, Anusandatsva, Anupam Chanda, Dharmanandan Seriya Hari Devata, Dharmika Iti Kilkam, Brahadavata Iti Bhakti Kilkam, Bhakti Janandana Iti Sri Kilkam, Charuvarga Pade Jabe Vinayoga, Pati Dhyanam, Navaranive Sharamani Darshanam, Mandhacharuchiranam Bhujam, Pujitam Suranarotame Muda, Dharmanandan Maham Vichinti, Sri Krishna Sri Vasudevo Narayana Prabhu Bhakti Dharmatma Krishna Narayano Hari. Okay, this Sri Janmangal Namavali Sadanand Sri Janmangal Namavali Sampurna Sri Swaminarayan Namo Namaha Sri Hari Krishna Namo Namaha Sri Naranarayan Namo Namaha. Now Kirtan, right? Kirtan. 263. Okay, words are संतो विमुख थकी रहिए वेगळा डरिए दिवस ने रात्रे संतो विश्वास करता विमुख नो वणसी जाए जो वातरे. That means, hey devotee, hey sant, hey sadhus, always remain away from the person who are away from the God. Vimukh, their face is away from God, don't go with them. Always remain away from them. Dariye divas ne raat, always caution with those people who are away from the God. Their face is away from God. Santo vishwas karta vimukh. O sadhus, O good people who are devotees, please, before you do faith on those people who are not toward the God, but they are away from the God, always don't do any faith on them. And if you don't do that, that will become so bad. Vanasi jai jo vadare. That will become to your destruction. Your destruction will start. So, Santo Vimukha Thaki Rahiye Vegala Dariye Divasane Raat Dariye Divasane Raat Re Santo Vimukha Thaki Rahiye संतो विश्वास करता विमुख नो वणसी जाय जो वात वणसी जाय जो वात संतो विमुख थकी रहिए वेगला. Then second step, this is made by Niskolan Swami. Santo Vimukha Vikha Ape Vatma. Vimukh, person who is away from the God, they will give you the advice with great love to you. Okay, so that's where they can take toward him and then they destruct you. Okay. Kari heta parare, lot of love, very heartily they will talk to you in order to fall down from the devotion to the God. So always be careful with the people whose his goal is away from the God, and that's you have to learn from. How you learn from is a vimukh, is away from the God. They don't follow anything, any scriptures. They do their own things, and then they let you fall down. Santo rag rag ma te rami rahe, and once they will put you their advice, it will go in your whole body and every senses, and it is hard to come out from there. No rahe vachan no baat. Then anybody tell to anyone, I will tell to the Gurukul, okay, do this, nobody will do it. Then they will go whatever they want to go, away from the God. That's what they will do. Okay. Santo Vimukha Vikha Ape Vatma Kari Hetaya Par Kari Hetaya Parare Santo Rag Rag Marami Rahe. Then it goes all around the body with all senses, with all the blood and everywhere. No rahe vachana no bhaar. no vachan no par means then there will be no any advice work. They will not listen to you at all. Santo rag rag mate rami rahe na rahe vachan no bhar na rahe vachan no bhar santo vimukha thaki rahiye vegala santo sobata वाले लागे विमुख वाला लागे विमुख रे संतो sobat no game santi who are the sadhus, who are the devotees, who has 30 characteristics, these are sadhus. They you will not like it. Them who are not sadhu, they have not 30 characteristics, you will follow them. So always recognize sadhu and asadhu, recognize devotee and non-devotee. Okay, so you have to do that, and that is scriptures mentioned in the Bhagavatam, right? 11th skandha in Bhagavatam. પછી વાલા લાગે વિમુખ રે વાલા લાગે વિમુખ રે સોબત ન ગમે સંતની વાલા લાગે વિમુખ રે then you will like it vimukh, the people who are non-devotee, people who are away from the God, that you will like it. You will not like the sadhus, real sadhu who has 30 characteristics, or real devotees. Santo sobata nagame pachi santani wala lage vimukh wala lage vimukh re santo niyamana game pachi sanathana. Then you will not like any rules and regulation of the God, Supreme. And mane mukhle sukhre, everything let's go whatever way it goes. Then you don't follow anything. Santo niyamana game pachinathana mane mokale sukha mane mokale ત્યારે કરવાનું છે તે ક્યાંથી કરે? Then you cannot do what you have to do. What your goal is to attain the moksha, the liberation. Then you will not do that. And થાય ન કરવાનું કામ. And whatever you don't want to do, you will do that one. What you don't need to do. So ભગવાન નિષ્કુળાનંદ સ્વામી કહે છે કે નિષ્કુળાનંદ નિશ્ચય ન પામે સુખ થામરે. So Niskula Swami saying that if you don't do this, if you don't avoid the vimukh, person whose face is away from the God, their desire is away from God, then you never get peace and never get salvation. ત્યારે કરવાનું છે તે ક્યાંથી કરે થાય ન કરવાનું કામ થાય ન કરવાનું કામ રે કહે નિષ્કુળાનંદ નીચે નર ન પામે સુખ ઠામ ન પામે સુખ ઠામ રે સંતો વિમુખ થાકી રહીએ વેગળા ડરીએ દિવસ ને રાત ડરીએ દિવસ ને રાત રે. So hey santo, if you want to be a saint, always associate with true sadhu. Don't go person who has no 30 characteristics of sadhuta, saintship. So stay with like good people, get devotees. Otherwise you will become the vimukha. Even though you are dress of the sadhu or dress of the bhakta, but you will not achieve the liberation if you will not be a true sadhu. Gurukul will sing the one vachana, one Kirtanam. What's the word is there of that Kirtan? Eh? Dhanya, Dhanya. What Dhanya? Dhanya Santa Sujanare. So that's what also meaning that is two sadhus, who are two sadhus, that mentioned in Bhagavatam, 30 characteristic in Vilavan Skanda. Those sadhus, when they talk, God remain in them and they speak with them. True devotee like that, mentioned in Bhagavatam, is also same thing. Like Prabhupada, he was so great sadhu, right? So he was speaking with him. Now the Shastriji Maharaj was like that. Purani Premprakash Das like that, you know. Mukur Swami, Niral Muktadas Swami was like that. Hari Prasad Swami was like that. And Kothari Swami was like that. There are many bhaktas like that, you know. So now Kirtan.
Tanya Tanya Santa Sujanane Jenu Lati Palatu Apa Santa Te Swayam Hari Apatari Mara Bhagavanama Jenaya Pamarino Vyapa Santa Te Swayam Hari Jena Shisha Mashisha Cheshamanu Jena Nera Mane Athana Nera Santa Te Swayam Hari Jena Mukha Mamukha Maharajanu Jena Vena Mavalana Vena Santa Te Swayam Hari Jena Kana Makana Che Krishna Jena Nakamana Sikanatha Swayam Te Sri Hari Jena Jiva Majiva Che Jivani Jena Hatha Maharina Hatha Santa Te Swayam Hari Jena Radaya Mahadaya Haritanu Jena Pava Mapa Puna Pava Santa Te Swayam Hari Jai Mahiro તેને રહેવાનું સંત છે ઠામ સંત તે સ્વયં હરિ ધર્મ ભક્તિ વૈરાગ્ય ને જ્ઞાન જે તેને રહેવાનું સંત છે ઠામ સંત તે સ્વયં હરિ એવા સંત શિરોમણી ક્યાં મળે જેણે દેહ બુદ્ધિ કરી દૂર સંત તે સ્વયં હરિ કહે નિષ્કુળ નંગાયને સંગે ઉગે અંતરે આનંદ સુર સંત તે સ્વયં હરિ સજા
Yeah, Maharaj. That means is that the true sadhu, true devotee, true bhakta, they have this saintship, 30 virtues mentioned in Bhagavatam, right? 11th skanda. That virtues who has, that sadhu, whatever work he does, usually God remaining with him. So God act through him, through any devotee or saint who are like that characteristic. So you have to recognize though, he is a real sadhu or not, or they are away from the God. Because nowadays it's Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, most of sadhus they practice, but if they not having that characteristic, then you don't get anything from them. So you have to recognize that for your own good. You know, Kali Yuga is always everything do wrong thing and they say this is right. You know, that's what happened in Kali Yuga. So we have to follow the Lord Swaminarayan Swarup and meditate on him. That's what we have to do. And now I'll do Vachanamritam. Before Vachanamritam, I want to do the 5-minute dhun for one of the devotees, the Urmila Ben Patel. Urmila Ben Dhansukbhai Patel. And the Urmila Ben's uncle who died in India. So she's devotee, she comes here. So I'm going to pray for their moksha, for his soul, and do the dhun for 5 minutes. Okay. And also I'll do dhun for some devotees are sick. I know this a long time. My cousin, the Kanubai Hijibai Bagaria, as well as the Saujibai Bagaria, Saujibai Popadbai Bagaria. So I'm going to do dhun for those people, to do good for them. Swaminarayan, 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 Shanti, 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 Shanti. Now Vachanamritam. Vachanamritam will be the Gadla Pratham series, okay? Gadla first series, 52. And that was spoken by Lord Swaminarayan on Wednesday, February 2nd, 2018. 2018. Vani Mangala Rupini Sahasidam Ashastive Mangalam Netre Mangala Decha Dor Vilasitam Nunam Param Mangalam Vaktram Mangala Kocha Pada Charitam Ashakilam Mangalam Soyam Mangalamurti Rasu Jagato Nityam Kriyan Mangalam Sahajananda Swami Maharajani Jai Hari Krishna Maharajani Jai Swaminarayan Hare Swaminarayan Hare Savantadarso Chautirana Mahavadi Trijane Divasa Sriji Maharaj Sri Gadlamadi Dada Ka Charani Medi Nivasriye Katha Varta Vanjavta Tha અને સર્વ શ્વેત વસ્ત્ર ધારણ કર્યા હતા અને પોતાના મુખારવિંદની આગળ મુનિ તથા દેશ દેશના હરિભક્તની સભા ભરાઈને બેઠી હતી. Right? So Maharaj was sitting on Darbar of Dada Khachar in Gadda, and lot of devotees. Maharaj has all the white clothes wearing, and lot of devotees from different part of the India was sitting before him. પછી તે કથામાં એમ આવ્યું છે સાંખ્ય, યોગ, વેદાંત અને પંચરાત્ર, 4 scripture. સાંખ્ય, યોગ, વેદાંત અને પંચરાત્ર એ ચારે શાસ્ત્ર કરીને જે ભગવાનના સ્વરૂપને સમજે તે પૂરો જ્ઞાની કહેવાય. Person who understand the swarup, form of the God, nature of God, swarup of the God, with combining these 4 scriptures, not only one scripture. So you don't confuse with that. So you have to understand all these 4 scriptures, what they are saying, in order to get the highest level of the knowledge. Is a true gnani, true knowledge person. પછી કથામાં એમ આવ્યું છે સાંખ્ય, યોગ, વેદાંત અને પંચરાત્ર એ ચારે શાસ્ત્ર કરીને જે ભગવાનના સ્વરૂપને સમજે તે પૂરો જ્ઞાની કહેવાય. ત્યારે મુક્તાન સ્વામીએ પૂછ્યું કે હે મહારાજ, એ ચારે શાસ્ત્ર કરીને ભગવાનને કેમ જાણો? How to know about knowing these 4 scriptures? How to know the God like that? અને એ ચારે શાસ્ત્ર કરીને જે ભગવાનને ન જાણે એમાં શું ન્યૂનતા રહેશે કહો? And if you don't understand these 4 scriptures and don't recognize the Swarup of God, and what happened then? Muktan Swami said, what will be the deficit remain on that? ત્યારે શ્રીજી મહારાજ બોલ્યા છે જે સાંખ્ય શાસ્ત્ર છે, સાંખ્ય શાસ્ત્ર, મેટાફિઝિક્સ, રાઈટ, સાંખ્ય શાસ્ત્ર તે ભગવાનને 25માં કહે છે, 24 એલિમેન્ટ્સ, રાઈટ, અને ભગવાનને 25માં કહે છે. મીન્સ 24 એલિમેન્ટ્સ and 25 is God. So where goes to the soul and Iswara? Iswara, the demigods. So they said it's together with elements in the Sankhya Shastra. And God is separate, Bhagavan is separate, Purushottam Bhagavan is separate. So it's 25 magas. So how to understand this and how we can combine all the scriptures and can understand our salvation path of. અને 24 તત્વ જેમ ભગવાન વિના કાંઈ કરવાને સમર્થ નથી. 24 element cannot do anything without the Bhagavan. And also Jiva and Iswara, semi-diosis, semi-goddess, Swami-God, also cannot do anything without God. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they have to follow the Purna Purushottam. So everybody, so that's why the Sankhya Shastra, Sankhya scripture saying that 24 element plus Jiv and Iswar. Okay? Sometimes Paryavar they use as a Iswar as a God too, but Ishvara is a semi-God here, you used to understand. And the supreme God is Purna Purushottam, supreme, the Mahavishnu. That is the Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Lord Swaminarayan, Lord Buddha. So 24 તત્વ જેમ ભગવાન વિના કાંઈ કરવાને સમર્થ નથી થતા તેમ જીવ ઈશ્વર પણ ભગવાન વિના કરવા કાંઈ સમર્થ થતા નથી. જીવ અને ઈશ્વર પણ ભગવાન વિના cannot do anything. Same way the 24 element cannot do anything without God. Same thing, the soul and the Ishvara, semi-deos, they cannot do anything as well. So the Sankhya Shastra is saying about 24 element and Jiva and Ishvara, it goes with that. So 24, God is 25th. So this is where they count it. So that's what we have to understand. Okay. માટે તેને the Jiva and Ishvara also they combine with the 24 elements according to the Sankhya metaphysics. અને જીવ ઈશ્વર સહિત એવા જે 24 તત્વો તેને ક્ષેત્ર કહે છે. જીવ અને ઈશ્વર, જીવ 24 element, jiva and semi-deosis is called the kshetra, the knowledge of the field. Okay, and Bhagavan, God, is the knower. He is the kshetragna. That means he is the knower of the field. Knower of the field. અને 25માં જે ભગવાન તે ક્ષેત્રજ્ઞ, field of knowledge. ક્ષેત્ર is 24 elements plus Jiva and Ishvara. Yeah? Right?
Well,
they are kshetra.
It's below God, everything is attached to Maya. So, yeah, they're part of the Maya
Right.
property, and God's above it, so 25, yeah.
Right, right. And God is the 25.
Mm.
And it is kshetra, field of knower. અને યોગ શાસ્ત્ર, now yoga, what yoga say? યોગ શાસ્ત્ર છે તે ભગવાનને 26માં કહે છે. તો what they did, they said 24 element plus separate they made from there to the Jiva and Ishvara, the demigods. They are separate, 25. And 26 is the gods, the supreme, he is a kshetragna. So they are all filled according to the yoga. But what yoga saying further? અને યોગશાસ્ત્ર તે ભગવાનને 26માં કહે છે, 26 કહે છે. તે કેવા how he looks like, તો એ કહે છે કે મૂર્તિમાન કહે છે, વેદા મૂર્તિમાન કહે છે ભગવાનને, અને જીવ ઈશ્વર 25માં કહે છે, ઈશ્વરને 25માં કહે છે, અને 24 તત્વોને પૃથક કહે છે. અને તેથી તત્વથી પોતાના આત્માને પૃથક સમજીને ભગવાનનું ધ્યાન કરવું એમ કહે છે. So what they are saying that 24th element is separate according to yoga. And they have separate identity, the Jiva and Ishvara, the Jiva and the demigods. And they are Kshetra, right? All Kshetra means field. And who knows everything, he is knower of the everything of the field. Kshetragna is Bhagavan. It is 26, right? So 26, yeah. So what they're saying is that Bhagavan is Sarishma Karte, Murtiman Karte, and they're saying this, Bhagavan has got his form, yoga. We're saying that Bhagavan has a form, facial form, and you meditate on him, okay? And the Jiv Ishwar, 25th, and the 24th tattva Puthak, that is 24 element, the Jiv, soul, and demigod, semigod are separate from them. So you have to understand this. This body is separate from the Atma. And that's what they are making here. And 26 is the God, is the Purushottam, is the knower, everything. He's a Kshetragna. So then you meditate on him. Be separate from 24 element, and then meditate on the Purna Purushottam.
Isn't that Brahma Vidya? Isn't that Brahma Vidya, the process where you unite, you worship God as a spirit, and that way you're still part of the 24 because your body is,
but you're separating out.
Your atma is separate.
You're separating out.
That's what yoga does. It takes the body and soul and
separates.
Yeah, okay.
But it's same thing there, but you have to understand this so you don't confuse with anything.
Right. Yeah. It still makes sense. It's just a different way of looking at it.
Look, philosophically to understand the concept.
It's subtle. Yeah.
અને જે વેદ શાસ્ત્ર છે, વેદાંત શાસ્ત્ર છે તે વેદાંત શાસ્ત્ર તે ભગવાનને કેવા ગણે છે? સર્વકારણ ઇઝ અ કોઝ ઓફ એવરીથિંગ. વેદાંત સર્વવ્યાપક means he is everywhere, present, omnipresent. Sarvadhar, he is a supporter of everything. Nirgun, he has no any virtue, he is beyond these three virtues, even though they have. Adait means one itself, no other second. And Niranjan means one himself, no one else.
Oh, okay.
And Karta Thaka Karta. Even he is doing something, but he is not doer, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And sometimes they give the adjective to them, sometimes don't give the adjective, but still he is there. Swaminarayan, Narayan, Swaminarayan is the adjective. Swami is adjective. Who is that? Swami to everyone. Narayan, one who is pervading each and every soul. Who is that? He is the Swami. He is the controller to everyone, each and every soul, in every universe. Okay? That is called Swami. Nobody is Swami in this world. They give Swami word as a paryavat, but he is not. Only the Swami is Narayan. And Pancharatra. So fourth scripture is Pancharatra. What is Pancharatra?
That's a very difficult question because
it's a very good.
I know there are a couple of volumes of it out there. It's the five. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I've heard quotes from it and I've never read it.
Yeah. Pancharatra is the started 300 BC, before Christ, and it was about the Vishnu is the whole cause of the incarnation. That's the theory there. And Bhagavatam, based on Bhagavad Dharma. And that is the Vishnuism.
Okay.
And that is written by the saint Rishis, Narayan. Says Narayan, he did the austerity for 5 days. Panch Ratra. Ratra means Panch Ratra. 5 nights.
Okay.
He did 5 nights to austerity. Okay. And that austerity gave him supernatural being and reached to the super being, the Purushottam. So that's why that Vaishnavism started, and the all acharyas, Ramanujacharya, those people wrote it about a lot of scripture on that.
Okay, so it's a fundamental Vaishnava text.
Right, Vaishnava's text.
Yeah, even Prabhupada quoted it quite a bit.
It's the same thing like the Vaishnavism text, that Swaminarayan comes on that too. અને પંચરાત્ર છે તે ભગવાનને એમ કહે છે જે એક જે શ્રી કૃષ્ણ પુરુષોત્તમ નારાયણ, એક જે વન પુરુષોત્તમ નારાયણ જે છે, જે શ્રી કૃષ્ણ છે, સ્વામિનારાયણ છે, રામચંદ્ર છે, જે પુરુષોત્તમ ઓરિજિનલ નારાયણ છે ત્યાં in the divine abode, is the same one comes in this universe. He take incarnation. He become the Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Anirudh and Padmivan. Okay? And ये चतुर्व्यूह થાય છે. This 4 incarnation, 4 view, they incarnate as well. Same way. So Sri Krishna Bhagavan born here, or Purushottam Narayan born here, and if you recognize him and worship him, that will divine way, the 9 way you worship with devotion, you get the ultimate good, the Atma Kalyan, the liberation. Okay. 9 પ્રકારની ભક્તિ કરી તેનું કલ્યાણ થાય. એવી રીતે 4 શાસ્ત્રો ભગવાને કહે છે. એ યથાર્થ સમજે ત્યારે બધું લોકાને કહેવાય. If you understand these 4 scriptures completely, then you are the complete knowledgeable for your salvation. અને જો બીજા 3 શાસ્ત્રને મૂકીને એક સાંખ્ય શાસ્ત્ર કરીને ભગવાનના સ્વરૂપને સમજે તો તેમાં બાધા. So if you don't do or complementary and understand the relation with those scripture, then you'll be not complete Gnani. Maybe if you have one Shastra you know, then you are the 1/4 you know. So is a Gnani. If you know 2, then 1/2, then 3/4, and then complete all Gnani. If you know 4 scriptures, 4 scriptures, and you have to understand this in order to not to afraid of or not to fall down from your salvation. So this is the what it is, and ये 4 શાસ્ત્ર કરીને જે સમજે તે પૂરો જ્ઞાની કહેવાય, અને જો એ 4 માંથી એકને મૂકી દે તો પૂર્ણ જ્ઞાની કહેવાય, અને 2 મૂકી દે તો અર્ધો જ્ઞાની, 3ને મૂકી દે તો પાગાની કહેવાય, પાજ્ઞાની કહેવાય, અને 4ને મૂકીને પોતાના મનની કલ્પના કરીને વર્તે તે ગમે રીતે શાસ્ત્ર સમજીને વર્તે છે તે તો જો વેદાંતિ હોય કે ઉપાસના વાળો હોય એ બે ભૂલા પડ્યા છે. So if you don't understand these 4 scriptures and you do it by your mind only, then you are the pseudo gnani, pseudo knowledgeable. It's not real knowledge. So you have to understand all these scriptures, and they are worshipping God, but still they are not right if they don't understand according to these scriptures. And they both are on the wrong pathway, Maharaj said, Sriji Maharaj. And Kalyana Margmati, Bemati Koi Jadonati, they didn't find any way of the salvation. They are all wrong if you don't go to the 4 scriptures understanding. And do according to your mind, whatever you like. Mati the Vedanti hoy, if he following Vedanta, still he is a pseudo knowledgeable. And Upasana valo, bhakti, devotional person who 9 ways doing devotion. But if he is not understanding these scriptures, he is not knowledgeable. He is a false pseudo knowledgeable. Mate, Vedanti and Upasana both are Vedanti and the person who doing the devotion, both are wrong if they don't follow the scriptures. Iti Vachanamritam Gadla Pratham 52 Vachanamritam Jete. That's the way, and the Gadla Pratham series 52 Vachanamritam. Sahajanand Swami Maharaj. So let me see what points I have. So according to Sankhya Shastra scriptures, so 24 elements, right? It includes also the, according to Sankhya scriptures, Jiva and Ishvara. And because Jiva and Ishvara cannot do anything without God, so even 24 elements cannot do without God, so they put together, but it's nothing different otherwise. Okay? God is the Kshetragna, he is the doer. Then, so Jiva and Ishvara are also Kshetra, right? And 24 element also Kshetra. And Bhagavan, the Pachvisma, 25, according to the metaphysics, he is the 26, and he is the Kshetragna. He's a field of know, everything he knows. And Yoga Shastra, what Yoga Shastra say? 26 elements. 24 plus Jiva and Ishvara and God. Ishvara is 26 in this one, because he's separating out from the 24 element to the soul and the Ishvara. Soul and Ishvara are also the Kshetra. Okay? And 24 elements Kshetra too. And Ved Shastra. So Veda Shastra, Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra, 25th, telling to God. No? Sankhya is 25. Yoga is 26.
Yeah.
We already did that. Then yoga, what is saying there? you meditate upon that God, become the separate from this 24 element, right? And
Right.
count as a Atmanishta, develop the Atmanishta, right? That is called. And that Atmanishta will lead to the Supreme if you meditate upon Him. Okay? And what the yoga said, thinking oneself to be the distinct from the 24 elements. So soul is the separate, Ishvara also separate, they count as a separate themselves and join to the God Supreme. And what is Vedanta saying? What Veda can say that Veda, God is to be Sarvakarta, He is doer of everything. He is the cause of the everything, right? Sarva Vyapaka, all preservative, pervasive. He is Vyapak everywhere, omnipresent. And Sarvada, sustainer of everything. Nirguna, free from the attitude of Maya, virtues, three virtues. And Advait, one is one without second. And Niranjana, unaffected by the Maya. Okay? Niranjana. Okay? Niranjan Nirakara, but not Nirakara, he is a Sakara.
As a form.
Niranjan is the...
As a form, but not
free
by
from
Maya.
the Maya, but he is has a form, the Supreme has form. And Advait is the one without second. And Niranjan, we say unaffected by Maya. And doer of everything, yet not doer, God. And devoid the worldly qualities and having all divine qualities, And there is no worldly qualities, divine qualities. Pancharatra. So Pancharatra is Lord Krishna Purushottam Narayan is the Supreme Personality, and He incarnate, manifest as a Vasudeva, Sankarsha, Aniruddha and Padmudana, right? And from the Aniruddha, so he himself incarnate one who has worshipped and with devotion, right? Ultimate good for moksha, and that is the thing you have to do. So all four scriptures you have to interrelate and then to go and understand. What is Pancharatra, I told you, is a religious movement in a Vedic Dharma that originated in the 3rd century before the Christ. And there was a sage called the Narayan, and this is the central is the Narayan, Supreme Lord, Purushottam. But the Narayan says, who has did the austerity, right? And he sacrificed for about 5 days. That's a Pancharatra they call, and 5 nights. And then he got this highest level of being himself, and that's what later on the Shardalya, the Sutra, the 100 Christ era, and that's what come out all scripture after that. And then so Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, that's Lord Purushottama, Supreme Mahavishnu, Lord Swaminarayan. Then comes Sankarshan. Okay? That is the kind of Balram incarnation. And then Padmiman, right? He's a Lord of Lives. Sankarshan is a Lord of Life. You know, because this is, remember how the universe created, we were looking about Ahankar and Man, Buddhi, and Chit, the same way. So from Vasudeva, Sankarshan comes. You know, then Pradhan Purush, the Prakriti, nature comes. So before that, Sankarshan is like Balaram, is a Lord of Life. Sankarshan. And then comes the Padjuman. Padjuman is the ego, Ahankar. Padjuman is incarnation of the Ahankar. Then come Anirudh. Okay? And Anirudh created Brahma. Aniruddha created Brahma. You see? And Brahma created Manu and all universe. All universe, then Manu.
Right? Fresh bodies.
First,
Manu,
our great father, great father. Yeah. And then for Ramanujacharya has wrote for Pancharatra many books, many texts, 200 texts or something. So this is about this Vachanamritam, very nice Vachanamritam. May Lord bless to everyone who was hearing this and give them God knowledge and for their salvation and do good for every devotees, people who are listening and hear this talk. May Lord bless them. And I finished my talk here. May Lord bless to everyone. I bow down to His Holiness Shastriji Maharaj, Purani Prem Prakash Dasji, Mughal Swami, and Sarva great sadhus and santo. Sahajanand Swami Maharaj ki jai. Hari re dhokara charana karo tyari re jamone thal jivan jau. Hari re beso mela bajo tia thari re kantora kanchanani thari re jale bhara chambu chokhari re jamone thal jivan jau. Hari re kari kata gaoni poli re mori druta sakar mahapoli re kajo rasa keri no goli re jamone thal jivan jau. Hari re gaya sata ke bar bhulwari re dudha pak mal vari re jari pochi thai che gi ma chari jamone thal jivan jau. Vari re athana shaka sundar paji re lavi chodarat kari taji re dahi bhat sakar che jaji re jamone thal jivan jau. Hari re chalu karu lavi mujal jari re elachi ilavi gaso pari re pana biri banavi sari re jamone thal jivan jau. Hari re mukha vasamana gamata leine re prasadi thal dani deine re bhumanand kahe rajvi thaine re Satsang Swami Maharaj ni jai. Bhuman Swami is nice banaya kirtan thought offer to the God now. Sahajanand Swami Maharaj ni jai. Re jago kashta bhajana jago re anjali mata lave datana pani re जागोए। जय प्रभु, जय स्वामीनारायण भगवान, जय महाराज स्वामीनारायण भगवान। सजान समाधान आरती। एक જાય ને કેસ પડી ગયો હતો મારા ઘણા દિવસથી એમને એકલો લાવ છે. સ્વામિનારાયણ 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 નારાયણ હે સ્વામિનારાયણ 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 નારાયણ સ્વામિનારાયણ 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 નારાયણ સ્વામિનારાયણ 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 નારાયણ. સદા મહારાજ જય સદગુરુ સ્વામી પ્રભુ, જય સદગુરુ સ્વામી સહજાનંદ દયાળુ, સહજાનંદ દયાળુ ભગવત ભવનામી જય સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. હરિ કૃષ્ણ મહારાજ. નેક્સ્ટ સેટરડે રાઈટ? ઓકે. જય મહારાજ. વિષ્ણુ